All right, welcome to the Shop Teacher Podcast, Wednesday night meetings. This is really just a casual way to catch up. There's no real agenda. But what I like to do is just go around and meeting everybody. And then if we get to a point where there's a couple of topics going, we can try the breakout. How you doing?
Good. How's everybody else doing?
Good. Where are you coming from?
I'm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I'm about probably about 3 hours from you.
Okay.
Somewhere around in there.
So you probably know Jeff and Tim, right?
No.
Okay.
It's a big, I mean, there's actually quite a lot of us out here. In Lancaster County, I don't think that we have any school districts that have gotten rid of shop.
Oh.
So we have probably every time that we get together with our little like group, Lancaster County type area group, there's at least 40 or 50 shop teachers that are getting together.
Wow.
So
wow. No kidding.
we're like Lancaster County is a real manufacturing area. So, and farming and hands-on. So we get that mixed in with the ag a lot too. So we definitely have a lot of participation still at all of our schools.
Wow, yeah, he's about cool. 2 hours from me. So, because I'm in Easton, Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. My colleague came from Easton. He lived up there and then worked up there for a little bit.
Yeah, and I work in Jersey though. So.
And my brother did that as well, like right across the way.
Yeah, I work in Warren County.
Okay. My older brother did that. My older brother is actually also a tech ed teacher in the same building as me and literally 2 doors down.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's wild.
So, Joel, what school are you at?
Ephrata High School.
Oh, okay. And are you a Milledgeville grad or no?
That's correct.
Okay.
As most of us on the Eastern Seaboard are.
Not me.
Did you go to California?
No, I went to Trenton State College of New Jersey.
All right.
I'm alternate route. I went to school for product design and then somehow found out about teaching. It's just
that's okay.
It's a good looking guys that went to Millersville though, Tim.
Yeah, that's right.
You are right.
That's right. That's right.
All the smart ones went to TCNJ.
Well, hey, I mean, you see that? You see the little doctor right next to my name there, huh?
Yeah.
So that was a recent addition. Just like literally, I almost literally just handed in my final doctoral dissertation, the hard copy of it. It's been approved and everything, but I just handed it in. So yeah. Oh yeah, look at that.
Nice.
Well, no, congratulations.
Thank you.
Doctor. You ever see Spies Like Us? It's like an 80s. Doctor. And they fake a surgery. It's crazy.
Yep.
So what do you teach, by the way?
So I got an interesting kind of story to tell about that, but I have, last year, it was 4 classes of wood technology, transportation technology, and all of these are just half-year courses. So it's really just kind of like an introduction stuff. And then, let's see, architectural drafting, mechanical drafting, and then there's an engineering class, like a really generalized prototyping class. I give them like a really, really open-ended problem, and then they just sort of they come up with their own built solution for it. But this past year, I actually spent half of my day going out to something that we started called the Maker Bus, which is a school bus that we completely ripped the inside out of, and then I put on a laser cutter, a CNC machine, a 3D printer, and I actually take it out to the elementary schools, and then I teach classes to 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade in our school district.
Wow, what a cool thing. Okay, you gotta, forgive me, do you have an Instagram? Are you on our thing?
Yeah. I only I only half participate because I got 2 young kids, so I'm just like, I don't post as much on Instagram as I should, and I got like no time.
Yeah, it's all good. No, but I would love to see that bus. I bought a school bus once.
Okay.
And it was a short bus, and I drove it across the country.
Okay.
And so I don't know why I'm just partial to this. They're great platforms. Like you could put a ton of stuff in there, and they got the big diesel engine, and they're awesome.
So I'm gonna put on in the chat EASD Maker Bus on Instagram. EASD Maker Bus is the site for the bus itself, and then I do some updates every once in a while.
Yeah, that's great. That would be really cool. That's awesome. And you know, I Maker Faire had a little bit of financial trouble, but if New York, they had Maker Faire, and did anybody here ever go to Maker Faire in New York? Nick? Yeah. Okay.
I think Nick did. Yeah.
Yeah. And they had so many Maker buses there. They had really good ones too. They had they got a bio bus where you can get on there and you can like look at, you know, through micro telescopes or, you know, electronic telescopes, powerful stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they had a kind of DIY Maker one from Staten Island. And then they had another one that was more professional looking, like cleaned up. And just a whole bunch of them. People loved it. And it's very exciting, you know. I don't know why. It's just, you know, it's something cool about it because the bus itself has character and whatnot.
We built ours. The bus showed up last September, and then a group of students and I ripped the whole thing apart, and then we put it all together. Well, not last September, sorry. September of 2018. It got dropped off at back of my door, and then we ripped it up, and then we put all the stuff in it over the course of about 2 months. And then after that, we actually did like a little pilot program when we went out and just went to the 4th graders, and we did like some big projects outside with them. We actually, this is going to sound crazy, we poured 56 or something like that, 56 or 58 concrete stepping stones. They were 2 feet across hexagons. We poured concrete with these kids. We got like 80 something bags of concrete, and we poured them. Hey, look at that. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, wow.
We had these 4th graders whacking on the forms with mallets to like settle the bubbles. We put designs. I actually used the CNC machine to cut out blue foam in a negative shape, and then we used that as a mold on top of it. The whole point was that they were showing the life cycle and the pollinators, the life cycle of the butterfly and then pollinators, and that was like a walking path along this pollinator garden that they had put in a year before. So
it's awesome. What do you have? Do you have it on you could share the screen right now if you want. That would be kind of cool. Is that easy to do or not?
I mean, it's on Instagram.
Okay.
Plus, I don't have much more other than what's on Instagram.
All right,
so
yeah, I got you. No problem.
You can find it there pretty easily.
Barbercheck's going to edit this, so he'll find it and he'll put it in there.
There you go.
Nice. That's exciting. Wow, exciting stuff, you know. I'm in an urban neighborhood, so there's no room for that. But I always thought it would be a cool thing. They always, of course, every district has like an extra bus that they're about to get. Plus, I think there's rules, like you can't have a bus more than 13 years. Is that right?
They have like a life cycle. I know that ours, we contract our busing out with somebody, so they actually did donate the bus to us, but it was the end of its life cycle, and it has 152,000 miles on it. It's a 2002, so yeah, if it's like 15 years is the time frame that they have to get rid of it then or something. I'm not sure exactly, but I know that we got it donated, and it was in pretty rough shape though. Like I had to rip up almost all of the plywood of the floor. I was walking along it, and then I'd go like walk, dip, walk.
Whoa.
And it was real spongy underneath in a couple of places. So I had to like rip it up and fix a little bit of rot that was underneath it.
That's awesome.
It was a great learning experience for students though, because they helped me actually like cut some sheet metal to make a new pan and stuff like that.
So
There
how does
you go.
the equipment fare while it's being driven? Like does the equipment get affected by the bumps and everything, or no?
We strap everything to the wall. So we put on the things you find in moving vans. It's like a big C channel type of a thing. And we just have hooks that like lock into that. So I ratchet strap everything in the wall. I was really worried about the laser cutter, like about the tube jostling around too
That's
much.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, like the tube and the
But
stuff.
it seems rigid enough. We haven't had any problems. A couple of things have gone flying around in the back of the bus already, but like nothing crashed too bad. So
What about temperature
pretty good.
changes, like in the winter being cold and in the
We
summer
did.
being really hot?
Well, so the first year that we used it, we don't do it over the winter time. So I was just in the bus up until obviously March. And we had stopped using the bus over the winter time from about like late November until early February. And I have a heater on the bus. I have a big infrared heater in the back. And then we just put in a, what's it called? A heat pump unit that's an air conditioner and a heater in the middle where the emergency exit was in the roof. So that blows around a little bit of hot air. But honestly, in the wintertime, if I got on and turned on a heater like 2 hours before I was going to be on there, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
If I got on and turned on a heater about 2 hours before I was going to get on there, then it was fine. The air conditioning was actually the hardest part. And there's 2 or 3 places where we park it, which are like really close to playgrounds. So I couldn't open all the windows and get like airflow going through there because there's kids yelling and screaming on the playground. So then I couldn't hear anything that I was trying to say or do. And so we had to keep the windows closed, and it was just so blazing hot in there. One day I was just literally drenched from sweat for like 2 hours just trying to talk inside of a bus. So
wow. You ever think about doing like a battery off the grid type of thing so you could support the air conditioner and all that stuff?
Yeah, we actually, you would be a great guy to talk to about this because I have solar panels on my roof. I don't have a battery backup at my house. But the guys that I was talking to that installed my solar panels, I talked to them and said, hey, do you want to partner up? Do you want to maybe do a donation? Do you want to do something to help us out to put just 1 or 2 solar panels on the top to like trickle charge a battery so I can run this stuff off the grid? As it is now, we have a giant 220 50 amp plug that we plug into every elementary school building. So I can run anything I want really on there. I could probably even run a welder if I really wanted to. But I did want, like, if we drive away from our elementary schools, then I'm sunk. So I did want to actually get like a small battery bank and just let it trickle charge off of a solar cell. And then I can just run it anywhere I want. At least, you know, turn on the TV and get a presentation running and maybe run one of my small machines like a laser cutter or something like that only takes like 4 or 5 amps or something silly.
So, you know, I've never done that, but I know it's possible. But what I would say is that you have so much room underneath that floor.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Even though there's exhaust and drive shaft and fuel tanks, there's still room, right?
Oh, yeah. There's like, so like the frame rails go like this, and then the bus is like actually this big. And so the spaces on the outside of the frame rails, there's like infinite space under there to do all sorts of stuff.
So like you can actually get like a used Nissan Leaf pack, like a whole car from, actually you guys have a supplier. I don't know if it's close to you. Where is Ben Salem, Pennsylvania?
Not too far. That's closer to Tim, I think.
Okay.
than it would be to me. But
Because I know this guy, Tom, he runs that place and he recycles entire battery packs individually or like the entire car. So imagine you started out with a car and then it's got its own management and cooling system and it just the whole thing just drops out of the car. And then you would need a pretty big inverter. And then the solar panels go through a solar charger. So, I've never done it, but I know some people that have. And yeah, I mean, also what you do is just figure out, what you could do? Honestly, the starting point would be start counting how many watts you're using.
yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, if you could start counting that, then you'll know how to size your pack.
Yeah, I did that all because I was trying to talk to these other solar guys. And if I don't use the IR heater, which is just an insane amount of wattage, it's like 1500 watts or something like that, just to turn it on. If I don't do that, then it's like nothing. I think the biggest thing was either the 3D printer or the CNC machine, or maybe the laser. I don't know. Either one, they were only drawing like 3 or 4 amps, like a total of maybe 400, 500 watts or something silly like that.
That's nothing.
Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, I'd be fine with like 2 big lead acid batteries that if I have a trickle charge coming in and then I use them all in one day or something like that.
With stuff like this, big projects, I would do proof of concept. Maybe get one piece of equipment off the grid, just one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Maybe just something simple like a drill press or whatever, because if you bite off too much, it's like, And then you could start there and you could count and you could have an amp counter. There's a lot of amp counter options and stuff. And then so you could have kids help manage. I don't know if you teach high school too, but like if you could have, so the high school kids could help manage that and get more efficiency out of the system or whatever. Put like one panel on the roof and just proof of concept. Because then if it works, then times 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Now you have to have a CDL for that bus, right?
That is correct. I am getting my CDL this summer because of that bus.
Oh my God.
So is
Jersey,
school paying for that or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's switch around a little bit.
Hey, Ron, I was just saying if you guys do any of that solar panels things with the mobile classroom, that was kind of the next thing I wanted to look into was making our mobile classroom, because it runs. We have a mini split in there that does our heating and cooling, a mini fridge, turn on the microwave every once in a while for me to make a lunch. But most of the time it's like my monitor, computer, maybe the kids charge up a phone and stuff. I thought it'd be interesting to do that. And, it's kind of the same thing as far as storage goes. I mean, I don't know how far off the ground with a trailer that moves across town once a year. So that was all very interesting. So whatever you guys do on that, I want to watch or know or whatever.
I'm sure it'll be up on the Instagram if we start changing anything.
Matt, that's such a good idea. And honestly, your house, I'm going to make a prediction. It's not popular prediction, but I really do think that most of the houses are going to be off the grid coming up. That won't be a weird thing. That'll be like a normal thing to have a battery at your house.
My ultimate goal is to do a net zero house eventually. For newer guys, or I don't know, maybe you guys haven't heard me talk about it, but that was a big thing we did was bringing in building science into it and energy efficient, a high performance house. Using less electricity. We have a really tight house built and stuff. So we'll have a compact ductwork system and smaller units to heat and cool. And we didn't do it this time, but we probably will next time. Is have it set up for, even though, like I said, around here it's big trucks still, but have it set up so you could put in your the electric charge a car. Have it set up in the wall So if you ever wanted it, it's there. Hook it up. You're ready to go. If not, then it's just there. So,
That's
but yeah, our ultimate goal, I would love to eventually have net zero. In fact, you're right, Ron. I like at some point net zero is going to be the way. I think it's coming. How fast, I don't know, but
oh, yeah, I have no idea how long it's going to take, but it's here. Thanks for tuning in to the Shop Teacher Podcast. We cover a lot of topics with shop teachers. It's an open format. You can come and go as you please. And I just extracted one clip out of like a 2.5 hour meeting. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you on Wednesday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time for our Shop Teacher Podcast. See you later.